So now let's just jump into the demonstration. Like I mentioned, we're running a little low on time, so I won't go over the steps. We'll just kind of jump into it. So we've dialed our map, and now we're ready to export it. So one thing I didn't dial, which I'll do really quickly, is adjust the scale bar. I'm going to right-click onto the scale bar, or left-click and go to Properties. And then I want to adjust from miles to feet, because at this scale, miles doesn't necessarily show us the appropriate information. So we're in our scale bar properties, and then we're going to navigate down to units, and then we're going to adjust it to feet. So now that's changed it to a little bit more appropriate, and now I see that the range isn't the best, so I can shift it, the size of it, down to get that range a little bit more appropriate. And now I can shift it using the arrows, or hold shift and press right arrow to get it to a more appropriate place. So now let's export this map with our last couple of minutes. We're going to go File, Export, and then we're going to navigate to our project folder that we created. One thing to note is the export window will open up your last location where you exported something to. So we navigated back to multi-team, basic map creation, GIS, exports. And one helpful tip is to save your export. I didn't want to do that. Save your export with the same name as your MXD. That will be really helpful for if you need to update that PDF that a month, a year, 2 years from now. It's really easy to identify which MXD the PDF came from or your export came from. So I didn't necessarily want to do that, but we just exported the map to that location. I want to jump back into the export settings just to show the things that I highlighted before. So before we navigated to our location, and now we can choose which file type we want to save it as. I mentioned PDF, JPEG, PNG. Let's go to PDF right now. And then here in the options, we have resolution. Like I mentioned, you can vary from 90 to 300. We found those ranges work. And then the final thing, in advanced, you have this checkbox. Check it on to create that GeoPDF. And then the final, so we did that, we save it, and let's close our map. The final worded advice that I give with exports is always check your export to make sure that everything came through looking nice. At points, your automatic legend will drop off some words, and you'll have to zoom in to the layout of that and then export the map with it zoomed into that area. That will help with that issue. But it's always good to double check to make sure that your PDF looks appropriate.